Okay, cool. All right, so can you guys see my screen?
Not yet, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
You.
Welcome back, Tamika.
Yep. Here's
Yeah.
I'm back.
Cool. All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So guys, I have added what I am supposed to say on the slides that I think is not that obvious. So that should make your job a lot easier. Like for example, these slides, why am I here? You know, find a new friend and share for 1 minute. Obviously, I don't need to put any notes there. You should read it. You should be able to figure out what it should be, right? Okay. So,
Yes.
so guys, so obviously you had Gary's YWV. So you can use that, or you can use mine, or you can just pick the best of both and combine into one for yourself.
That's what I did at my training.
That's cool. Whatever works. The whole point about YWV is the big picture. Is for them to realize, shit, this is a big project. It's just not travel and make money. It's for them to feel like, wow, this is a movement. This is huge. So then when they come to, so they're eager to find out the products, the dream trick, rather than come here to learn the dream trick, blah blah blah. So by all means, I'm not saying you must use my version. Right, so it's really up to you guys, whichever works, okay? So
Okay.
I'm just gonna quickly go through okay, so these are the topics we'll go through. Why am I here? So this is where actually, so the way I design my slide is a lot more interactive, and you know, rather than, because there's what this thing called adult learning. So you can't just sit there for 3 hours, 4 hours straight without much interactive. So it's just, you know, people get bored. Like for Hong Kong is doing very well. Hong Kong, they play 3 games. So that's really, really
Wow.
so every city look like people run it differently. So as long as it's working, don't change. Okay. All right. So this is where I asked them why they are here. In a way, is getting prospect to realize why are they there. By realizing why they're there, then at least there's an engagement. So I want to set it right from the beginning. Now, if you read the template of the schedule of how we set up Infinity 8, I put the MC speech. So it's no longer a travel party. So you don't say welcome, you find out something amazing, blah blah blah. So we are talking to existing members. So we'll say something like, look, so you're one of the first reason why you're here. Maybe you joined. Hello. So, okay. Anyway, so some of you have joined in the middle of the week, right? So you are here for the first time to see the big picture, to reaffirm that you have made the right decision. And some of you're invited by your friend who just want to share with you the journey that they are on. So we welcome you, but we want to highlight that, you know, this is a training and a refresher event for existing members. Okay, so you're more than welcome to observe. And at any given time, if you feel like, at any given time, sorry, my baby just crying, sorry. And again, any given time, if you feel this is not for you, if you feel like, you know, there's too much fun, too much traveling, too much making money, if this is not for you, that is cool. Because, you know, this is more like a training event for existing members. So this is what we say, that MC should say it right from the beginning. Because ultimately, people don't like to be sold to. So if you're sitting there and imagine your prospect, you know the presenter's trying to sell you something, you probably don't feel as good. But whereas you say this is a training event, you're just here as an observer, then people feel a little bit more relaxed. Okay? Now, and second reason why you're here is because you want more experiences in life. Whether you want more time to spend with your kids, with your parents, that's you want more experience. You want to travel around the world, that's you want more experience. You don't want to you want to do something that you love instead of what you're working on, that's also because you want more experience. So everything is all about experiences. right? So you're here because you want more experiences. So what I learned from David Watson talk about there are three bank accounts in your life. And most people know the first two, but a lot of people don't know the last bank account, which is experience. Because everything you do in life is accumulate experience. You want more experience of everything, especially our company is all about experience, right? So this is what I tell them, okay, so there's the experience bank. But in order to get to the experience bank, you need two other banks. What are they? So I'll ask them. And obviously that's the time bank and money bank. So this is where I say, you know what? Exactly right. You can be filthy rich, but if you're working there, 24 hours a day, you're stuck in your job, you're stuck at work, there's no way you can go to travel around the world, spend more time with your loved ones, do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want. But on the other hand, if you have all the time in the world, but you don't have the money, you can't go travel, you can't, have amazing experience with your loved ones, you can't buy your favorite car, you can't buy your favorite house, etc. So in order to have more experience, you need time and money. So this is where I stopped. You can see that's the next animation. Which one of yours is bankrupt right now? So I'll ask them, which of the three are bankrupt right now? So this is where they actually have to think and go, because the thing you will know if you don't realize is, if you keep telling people what they should do, they will not do. But if they tell themselves what they don't have or what they should do, they will listen more. Because they listen to themselves more than anyone else, right? So by them telling themselves, holy shit, all my three bank accounts are bankrupt. I need this. So this is hopefully an aha moment for them. And then this is what I tell them. Well, in my view, I believe our solution, our company World Venture is the solution, especially Infinity 8. So this is the solution. So the previous page is get them to realize there's a need, and then the solution, rather than shove answer down their throat when they don't need it. When somebody is not hungry, you can give them the best food in the world. But if they're not hungry, they just won't take it. But hopefully through this page, make them realize they're hungry. Then we give them the solution. Now, this is where I ask them. So some of you just joined in the middle of the week, and some of you, are here for the first time. You're probably thinking, what, travel, make money, more experiences? Especially you're here in Chatswood. So Chatswood is where we do our presentation in Sydney. So you look around, there's only 70 people. So some of you might be, might doubt this. Especially let's see, are you doing yours at your home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can say, you know what? I know some of you, the 10 of you, you're in a little house, in a little room, and we'll be telling you about financial freedom, travel, make money. You must be thinking, how true is this? But look, this I believe it was Europe, America. This was Miami, I think, right? And then this is Thailand last year. And now, if you're using my slide, this is a YouTube. So this is, you would have clicked. I think some of you have seen this, right? Have you seen this? No. Okay. Anyway, this was me in bootcamp June in Hong Kong. So there were 13,000 people screaming, "You should be here."
Mm-hmm.
So this is where they go, wow, this is huge. So it's not just the 10 of you in Texas in the middle of nowhere. Right? Sorry, not in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you know what I mean, right? It's not like in Hong Kong where I think Hong Kong you get what, 30, 40 people?
30.
Yeah, 30.
We have 50 around.
50, all right. So this is where they realize this is huge. This is not just the 50 of you. Okay. And then this is where Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Shaq, Mr. Sixpack, they're all part of our club, right? And then, so this is where they realize, okay, this thing is big. So then I actually, so I say, okay, so let's find out how we can learn, how we can get more of the three bank accounts, right? More experience, more money, more time. Now, in order to learn from this, you got to learn from the best, which is Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So if you look at my notes, I actually detailed it very clearly. Like if you want to get marriage advice, you won't get from somebody who divorced 5 times, right? So it's the same thing. So if you want to learn how to make money, etc., so you learn from the best, Robert Kiyosaki. So you will know about the 4 quadrant, how 4 ways we make money. Obviously, you highlight the 95% population on the left here. They own 5% of the wealth. The right side is the 95% of the wealth owned by the 5%. Okay? And you tell them on the left side, you're giving up time for money. On the right side, for business owner, you're giving up, you have a team, you have a system that generates money. Investors, these people are filthy rich. They use money to generate more money. So then I asked them, where are you now and where do you want to be? So 30 seconds. Again, this is creating the need. Them telling themselves, shit, I'm on the 95% side. And damn, I want to go over to the other side. Okay, so again, this is not me telling them they should go. It's they telling themselves, right? And then I go through each 4 of them. Now, if you had Gary's slides, Gary just basically touched on it and moved on. So what I do, and then he talked about a lot of other different things. It's all structured. I find it not very structured. So I actually gather the information, put it into this 4 quadrant, these 4 ways of making money. So the first one is the JOB. So you've seen this slide before from Gary. You know, today's world is the same thing, building people's pyramid. And this is the 40-40-40 plan. So, you know, 40 hours, you work 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, you live off 40%, and it just doesn't work. Now, in Australia, we had this statistic. So you got to find your own statistics in your own country. So this was, I think, an event recently for one of those retired people. It says among 100 people, 1 will be healthy when they come to age 65 and over. 1 be wealthy. 45 will be financially secure. 3 will work until the entire life. 29 will be dead. And then 63 people will depend on welfare. So this for Australia, the superannuation, the welfare system, it doesn't work for sure. Okay, so this is where you try to make the employees realize, okay, I should not retire. I should not put all my plans on retirement. I should have a plan B. And then I ask themselves, as an employee, if you get injured or you get extended sick for 2 months, 3 months, what will happen? So this is where they realize, okay, you know, I can only have 10 days sick leave, 5 days sick leave, whichever country you're from. So again, this is them making them realize, okay, I need to have plan B. And again, a question: if you continue the way you're doing today, what will your life look like 5 years from now? Now in Sydney, a lot of them actually scream out, nothing will change. So that's when realize, shit, if I don't do something, I'm gonna look like what I look like 5 years from now, except a few more wrinkles. Okay. And then we go talk about self-employed. So naturally people will move on from job to self-employed. The thing with self-employed is, you've seen Gary's slides. A lot of company business fails, right? Early stage. And the problem with self-employed people, they're still time bankrupt. They're struggling between their business and their families. Again, what if you get injured and sick? Because self-employed people, they're usually one-man, two-man show. Right? They still need to be there, or else the business won't work. Same question: if you're doing the way you're doing right now, what will you look like 5 years from now? Now, this is my last, the fourth quadrant. This is the investor. This is where people have a lot of money. They ask money. They get money to work for them. So this is the 5% of the population. So this is where I talk about Warren Buffett. So you guys should know Warren Buffett, right? He owns Berkshire. So I say, look, you know, a perfect example is Warren Buffett, the Berkshire. You know, the company owns like, again, if you refer to my notes, see, at the bottom of my notes, I put down like Berkshire owns Amex, General Motors, Apple, etc. So all the scripts are there, okay? Sorry. So now, to be a Warren Buffett, guess how much is one share? One share of Berkshire is $237,000 US dollars. How many of us have 237,000 lying around? You can just go buy Berkshire. Obviously not, right? Now, some people will say, oh, you know what? As a property investor, no, that's good. If you have the money to buy property, that's fantastic. But how much is a property worth? And depends on which country you're in. You will need 10% or 20% deposit, right? I mean, how expensive is Hong Kong to get a property, right? I don't know what is Singapore is expensive. I don't know about Texas, but in Australia, in Sydney, is very expensive. Now, like a two-bedder in Australia, in Sydney, is like 800,000 Aussie. How many people have 10%, 80,000 around to buy a property? Not many. All right, so it just doesn't work. So the last option is obviously your business owner. Now, normally, this is where people go into franchise because they have proven procedures, they have proven formulas, so people go on franchise. So as I say, here's McDonald's. To get into the franchise McDonald's, guess what? You cannot work anywhere else once you own a franchise of McDonald's. You can't have multiple businesses. Whereas our ventures, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can do other MLMs, right? And you need $1.2 million unencumbered funds. That means you cannot even borrow from the bank for the 1.2 million. It needs to be clear fund. How many of us have $1.2 million Australian dollars lying around to start a McDonald's franchise? Obviously not. Ours costs like 550 US. McDonald's 1.2 million. And this is another crazy fact. To franchise McDonald's, you need to have a 20 years commitment. 20 years. That's just crazy. Ours, $550. No locking contract, blah, 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 blah. You just read it there, right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, this is where I say, ours is a network marketing or MLM. However, there's a stigma on network marketing, right? People don't like network marketing. Because you will notice most of the presentation today, this is not in the open. Right? Your prospects must be thinking, some of them will be thinking, oh, MLM, I don't like to do network marketing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm the opposite. I actually tell them, okay, share with the person next to you, what is your view on network marketing MLM? So if you have a prospect, imagine you bring somebody in and that person actually tell you what do they think of network marketing. So you can actually know how to handle the objections up front rather than wait for the surprise. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So some of them might say, oh, I'm cool with it. Then this more likely this person will join. If they say, I absolutely hate MLM, there's no way on hell I will do it, that means forget about this person, right? Potentially. So this is why I tell them, look, definitely there are stigma in network marketing. That's because, you know what, people don't do it properly. There's all these scams in the 80s and the 90s. You know what? We are completely different, especially with what the movement we're trying to build here. Our vision of Infinity 8, which all of you are part of this, is to make positive impact to 500 million people in 5 years. In fact, this is what I tell the audience eye to eye. I tell them, look, if you are here just purely to sign up people so that you can get rich, this is not for you. You don't belong to part of our team. We're not looking for people like that. We're looking for people with good character who want to help people, who want to change life. Those are the people we're looking for. So if you're not one of them, this is not for you. So I bring it very upfront. I tell them the way it is. So hopefully those people, the right people, will realize, okay, these people, you guys are not desperate. You're not desperate signing up people. In fact, you're part of a bigger cause. You want to do greater, you want to help improve 500 million lives in the next 5 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've got people ringing me. Cool. Anyway, then I talk about the network. How big is the network marketing industry? 178 million. And then network marketing is the 21st century because of all these people, Bill Gates, blah, blah, blah. Some of you seen these slides before. So that's it at the end of my 4 ways to make money. Again, interaction time. I asked them, now that you realize on your left-hand side here, now that you realize the 4 different ways, which one do you want to be? So again, they tell themselves where they want to be. Okay, and then they will share with the neighbor, the sponsor, the friend that brought you here. If they turn around and say, you know what, I'm absolutely happy being an employee. You know where this is going, right? But if they say, you know what, look like business owner is the way to go, or if they say something else, I'm happy to explore more, that means you know where these are going. Okay, now that, see, this page, this is where they realize, this is where we created the need for them, this is where we make them hungry, right? This is where they realize, okay, I want to move on to the next stage, and this is where World Venture can help them. This is why I personally think my slide is better, because I created a need for the audience, for the prospect to realize where they want to go. If you just go straight to why World Venture is good for you, I mean, some of them might not even realize they're hungry. So if you have the best food for them, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so here I will tell them, look, so for the new members that join us in the middle of the week, some of you seen a video, some of you just trusted your friend and just joined. You're here because you want to know you made a great decision. And the existing member who's been here for a while, I'm here to remind you why you've made a great decision. See, the choice of my language. Nowhere am I here saying this is why you should join us. Does that make sense? Because if I say that this is why you should join us, the prospect will feel like, oh, I'm being sold here. Okay. And so these are the 6 reasons why I believe you have made the right decision to join us. So obviously the Gumball video, just press play. This is linked to YouTube. So if your presentation place has the internet, just press play. This one is you've seen this from Gary's slides before, Europe, America. So that's travel industry. Second thing is 6 years product. Now, again, I bring this out to the open. A lot of people don't want to do network marketing because I don't want to force my friends to buy. I don't want to sign up my friends. I don't want to force my friends. So I asked them the question, do your friends already like to travel? Do they or not? So let them think about this. So some of them will realize, yeah, my friends already go on holidays, right? So then I say, this is quite famous, like if you win lotto, right, 92% of the people want to go travel. So guess what? People already want to travel. And this is where I asked them, what is the expiry date to go on 7 wonders of the world? And then I'll stop. And some of them will look funny, huh? So I say, exactly. When must you go to check out the 7 wonders of the world before they disappear? So some of them will go, never. It's always going to be there. So I say, well, guess what? That's exactly right. Our product is timeless. Not only you can go anytime you want, your kids can go. Your kids' kids can go. Your grandchildren can go. It lasts forever. So we have a product that is timeless. And the second, this slide is even Dalai Lama. So Dalai Lama say this, once a year, people should go somewhere they've never been before. So this is why I tell them, even the monk is telling you should go travel once a year. Even the monk is telling you that. So guess what? Because our product, people go at least once a year. It's a repeat purchase. So our product, people go at least once a year. In fact, some people go multiple times a year. All right? We have an awesome product. So because of all these 3 key points, you know what? I wish there's evidence somewhere that what I've just told you is true. Guess what? Look at Facebook. What are some of the most common photos you see on Facebook? And they will say travel. Some will say food. Well, guess what? Our company is in travel and food. So that's why I think we have the sexiest product. Number 3, destruction business model. So you know this, Uber, Alibaba, blah, blah, blah. And we are also in the destructive model. So does our destructive business model works? Hell yeah, look at World Travel Award, Magellan Travel Awards. And I say, look, the links that are right at the bottom. So if you want to verify, you can click on the link and then you can just copy down the link and you can check later. Now this, I don't put this in writing, but at this point, I will actually say, you know what? It's crazy. If you go Google, there are still people going to say that we are scam, despite we have won all these travel awards. So this is where you need to ask yourself, do you trust some no-name bloggers on the Google, or do you trust the industry experts who tell us to keep on telling us that we are the best? And I will ask them the question. You know, when Uber came on, did all the taxi drivers put their hands up in the air and roll out the red carpet and say, "Well done, Uber, come, no problem"? Of course, you know, all the taxi drivers are not happy, right? It's the same thing with us because we are disruptive business model. You know, people could potentially lose their job. You know, we're creating unprecedented competitions. So of course there are unhappy people out there. So that's why there are a lot of negative blogs out there. So you make the decision. Do you trust industry experts, or do you trust nobody? So I don't hide things, right? I want to bring everything out in the open, like what Ed Blunt always say. You know, he talks about the hidden elephants. Right? So same as my presentation style. Because the last thing I want is people sign up, when they go home, they Google, and they go, "Oh shit, I better quit." Whereas if they go Google when they go home, they saw all these negative blogs, they go, "Oh yeah, that presenter mentioned that before in the trainings, in the event that I went to." Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Number 4, technology. So this is where I say, you know what is the most expensive real estate at the moment? You know what? It's no longer Manhattan or Hong Kong or Sydney. It's the homepage of everyone's mobile phone. If a company has an app in homepage of every mobile, they make the most money. And our company have this app is a combination of 3. And you know what's the crazy things? We're gonna monetize it. That means you can earn holidays, you can earn Dream Trip points just by using our apps. So this is where I talk about the apps launching, which I'm sure you all know, right? And then I talk about the fly card, right? So you know this. And this is where I give an example. So my friend, I can't remember who sent me this photo actually. So I just say my friend who was in Singapore recently and in Taiwan recently. So MRT is the subway. So equivalent of MTR in Hong Kong. I don't know what is it in Texas. So our company, see our company logo, has already worked with the local transport authority. So they, you know, it's like our company have partnership with the government, so they can use their cards for the local transport. And we're working with Visa as well. So you know, the fly card is not like fake thing. You know, our company is already making progress. And on the other hand, you have this is United last year. So look at this. This is the hotel access card for Hilton. Because you know the fly card, eventually it will turn to the room key, right? You guys know that, right? So see, again, I'm showing evidence. Hilton, you know, one of the top hotel chain in the world, they are already working with our company. So during that event, like Hilton actually printed our company event as part of their access card. So you know what? Our company is real. The fly card will come. And the potential market, how big is the potential market? That, you know, the top 11 apps, we are in the top 5 categories, populated countries, top 10 direct sales, you know, all the 25 million people, and Australia just started. So this is where you put your United States or Hong Kong or Singapore, you know, what's the total population, how many members we have, blah, blah, blah. And lastly, the X factor. What's the X factor? So remember this slide, most new company, most of them fail at the beginning, or 99% of them because they don't have the planning and experience. So our company X factor is we have really freaking amazing experience. Management with amazing experiences. So I'm going to talk about 2 people. One is Wayne and one is Mike Remedios. So Wayne, you know, Wayne being Wayne, Lexi would know all about it. And then I want to talk about Mike Remedios. So Mike Remedios is our CTO. So when I'm a little bit of a green. So when I heard about this guy, I heard about his experience, I actually wanted to verify it. So I went to LinkedIn, I found him, and then I realized he's on the board member of Next. Now, I don't know whether this is the same Next as the Next that is owned by Apple. So if you know the history, Steve Jobs left Apple or got fired by Apple. He came out and started a company called Next, which is eventually bought by Apple. I'm not sure whether this is the same Next. So when I have time, I'll go verify. Or if some of you are free, you can verify for me. Because if he's on a board member of Next, that gives him extra credibility. And we have a board member of Next in our company. How awesome is that? So anyway, so I went to the Next website, through a third-party confirmation. He had the experience in Expedia, Hotel.com, shopping, eBay, mobile. This is why I have no doubt our travel app will be the best in the world, because we have a CTO that have the experience. Travel, shopping, mobile. I mean, he's got everything. So our app will come true without fail. Those 6 reasons are, in my view, the reason why you have made the right decision. So I'm going to give you 45 seconds, and you tell your neighbor which one do you like best. So I'm giving them opportunity for them to tell themselves why they like it for the prospect. So if you know Tony Robbins, I can't remember, master influence or something, one of the sales technique is you constantly let the prospect tell themselves why they should buy. So if you notice, I've been giving time to break it, for let them to do some digesting, is this sales technique. I'm letting them opportunity for themselves to tell themselves they should buy. So at this stage, the right people, they will buy because they've been telling themselves. And then the Dream Trip products. So that's when they get wowed. It's like, wow, Dream Trip is so freaking amazing. And then compensation plan. So that should do the trick. And with the Infinity 8, of course, right? So my last part is the result. So obviously, some of you might be thinking, this guy, so this is what I say to the audience. Some of you, maybe seeing me for the first time, you might be thinking, Ken is such a bullshit artist, or he's such a good salesman. Is this company real? Well, guess what? You know this, right? Look at where the company is going, the sales record, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Not only we are real, we are so busy expanding around the world. So head office in Texas. So this was me with James Lee in Singapore office. Hong Kong just opened recently. Malaysia just relaunched. The Ministry of Trade did the opening for us. The Ministry of Trade. All right, and you're going to trust some stupid blogger on the internet saying we are scam. Jeez. Anyway, and then South Africa office just opened in October. Europe, I think Europe will open sometime next year. I can't remember the exact date. I'll find out later. If you guys know the date, let me know. And Australia, obviously, because we're in Australia, we'll say, well, guess what? It will open next month. So you know what? The company is real, is growing around the world like crazy. So in conclusion, congratulations, you have made the right decision to join us, especially the new member that joined in the middle of the week. Again, I'm indirectly telling the prospect, you should sign up. You make the right decision, but I don't say that. In the old travel party, you would have been saying, yeah, you should join us, but people don't like to be sold. All right. So, and then this is where I highlight, yes, we are not perfect. We are just better. I want to set our expectation for prospect. Because some of the travel party we've been to, they show these crazy prices, they tell how good the company is, but then when they ring support, they get frustrated and then they quit. Right? They see all these amazing prices, and then they see that when they log on to Dream Trip website, that's not the price, and then they quit. So I set the expectation. You know what? We are really good, but we are not perfect. So I actually say this: the prices we've got in America, in Europe, are fantastic. But in Australia, some are really good, but nowhere near as good as the established markets. But the companies have hired the right people. I have no doubt we're going to be as good as other countries that have been around for longer. And we are not perfect, because if you ring support right now, you might get some new customer service people that have no freaking idea what the hell they're talking about. Because the company are just growing like crazy. I think the statistic was the company used to get about 1,000 phone calls a week. Now they're getting 1,000 plus phone call a day. Because the company, the last month, this is straight from Wayne Nugent's mouth. Last month, there were 96,000 people join us. 96,000. So our companies are growing like crazy, and we're struggling to meet the demand. So that's why we're not perfect. So don't expect a perfect company when you come in. But we are just better. We are better than any other opportunities, in my view, out there. And we are just getting better and better. So when your prospect join, if they ever complain, you can tell them, well, you know what? We told you the day that you came and saw the presentation. We're not perfect, right? We told you. So, but if you're expecting perfect, you know what? There's no opportunity. You can wait until Apple. Go try to invest Apple right now. It's too late, right? So you rather invest in Apple before they launch iPhone when nothing is perfect. It's the same thing. And now, so that finished my part, and then Dream Tree comes in. So that's all. I know Lexi is falling asleep. Tamika is asleep as well.
I'm listening.
It's just 4 a.m. No big deal.
So that's all.
Hey Ken, you start this PowerPoint. How long does it take for your presentation?
Originally is about 45 minutes. So
Mhm.
I'm now aiming about 40, 35 minutes.
Okay.
Again, if you feel there are too many slides, just remove. Ideally, in a perfect scenario, you want to keep it to 30 minutes max.
Okay. Okay.
You guys like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Very
love
good.
it.
Again,
down.
Yeah, I think it's good.
excellent. I'm not forcing you guys to use this, so you decide. You can combine mine, Gary, plus your existing slides, whatever slides you have. Just remember this page. This section is the big picture, the vision.
Mm.
Right.
Anything else? Any other questions?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's
Now take this opportunity to, if anyone have any other questions you want to ask me about setting i8 on your city, feel free to ask me anything.
Nope.
Hey Ken,
I have questions. I want to ask, after the evaluation training, will you guys immediately close the prospect?
Yeah, of course. So the member will still turn to, of course, the right people, the silver bar will just turn to you and say, sign me up. In Malaysia, some people halfway through the presentation already say, sign me up, sign me up.
Right.
Right? But there are people, especially the green, maybe you need to ask them. So not that part, nothing changed. You still ask them, however you normally close. So I would just say, so which part you like, travel or travel and make money? If they say both, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to run a journey with me? Now, in this case, if some of you say no, some of the prospects say no time, no money, or blah, 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 again, then you should just ask them. Like if they genuinely have no money, yeah, work together with them. But if you can sense it, it's just, a bullshit objection. We all learn from PPAP, right? You just bring them to the next event.
Okay. Got it.
So still ask your standard closing question for sure. Other questions?
Okay.
Good. I'm good.
I know.
Ken.
Yes.
Ken.
Pretty well
Okay,
here.
so on the why I8 part, how much of that did you actually go into?
It's about 15 minutes. Just to
15
give
minutes.
background of where i8 comes from, basically from China team, and talk about how in America, sorry, not America, outside Asia, people hitting IMD in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whereas in Asia, most of them, especially the China team, hit it within a year. So Gary wanted to find out why. So this is where Gary, through amazing universe, put us together, and we went through flower training, and then eventually this is where I come from. So you give the history of where I come from.
Okay.
And
And
then
then
you talk
the
about
all
the
the
implications. Get the six rather than find 3 superstar, etc. The numbers, the four different type of numbers. Yeah, that's perhaps the most important. This is that slide make people realize shit is not about looking for superstar. It's about just getting everyone get 6.
okay. And for the step 1, step 2, and step 3,
Yep.
how much of the time do you actually allocate for that, or you just run through it? Because it depends on what is the maturity of the elevation training in that market, right?
Correct. Now, if the template that I share with you, there's actually allocated time. I start with why is only like 10 minutes, right? So the majority of your time should be spent on step 4, step 5.
Step
Okay,
four, step five.
especially step 4, the qualifying, the EP. That's the most important part. Now, but as you pointed it exactly right, Mike, depends on the maturity of the market. Like in Sydney, because we've been running so many elevations, like and if at that week we don't have a lot of prospects, just run through very quickly. In fact, what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to do a short version of elevation. Or I want to get everything finished and done with in 3 hours. So I'm actually gonna skip step 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. Because one of the key thing about Infinity 8 is you want as many people as possible to be able to teach Infinity 8. So step 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8 is pretty easy. So if anybody sign up anyone, those parts the member can teach them. Whereas step 4, 5 is important. Step 7 is important. Then you can talk about elevation. Okay, but I don't recommend Singapore do it yet because Singapore has only done 1 elevation. Right, so a lot of you still haven't seen the full 8 steps. So at least you should go through that until majority of your people, the one who wants to run I8, are familiar with the 8 steps. Then you can go to the short form. By then, I will be able to give you the feedback. Because by then, I would have been able to test the short form of elevation at least a few times. So then by then we would have fine-tuned and tweaked it to see what's the best formula, and then I will tell you. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like same as Hong Kong, same as Texas. Because you guys have I8 is new. So definitely run through each 8 steps until subconsciously all the members understood. Then there's no need.
Yeah, but the last time you was saying that don't focus on the 7 and 8, right? For during the elevation training, right?
Yeah. Okay. So 7, the biggest thing is about the weekly focus board. 8 to me, the only thing you need to touch on is the 5 values, right? And everyone go to training. Now, why 7? Why under the short form, the short version? Why I want to do 7 is because level 3 people will complete their weekly focus board and send it to their sponsor by 9 o'clock every morning. So I'm thinking, while everybody's at the elevation every weekend, during that 15 minutes, that's where I want everyone to complete the weekly focus board. Then, so it makes perfect sense, right? Since everyone's there, everyone's gonna just do their weekly focus board and everyone will be done. So and going through the weekly focus board, because it's quite easy as well. So that is an opportunity for new presenter to step up and basically guide new member on how to complete the weekly focus board. And it should not take more than 15 minutes. So my new short version, step 7 is only 15 minutes. So everybody can do the weekly focus board. Because one thing we find right now, a lot like the non-level 3 people, they just don't get their weekly focus board done. So, well, since you're already here on training, let's get it done.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry?
Yeah, I get that.
But again, this weekend is the first time we trial the short version, so we'll see what happens. Other questions, Mike?
No.
Are you gonna record the short version down for your weekends?
No, we gotta find cameraman.
Huh?
I won't recommend we do the next one because next one won't be good. Like it's the first time we run it. I'm sure it doesn't look as organized. If you want recording, I'd rather record one that is after 2nd or 3rd trial. Then at least it looks a lot smoother.
Okay.
Because if you want a sample of the best, then the best should be recorded.
Mm.
What challenges are you having in Singapore?
Okay, after the first elevation, there's question that people ask. So what is next? You know,
Yeah.
are they going to do every invite through the elevator pitch or what? You know, and then when they have people that's interested, are they going to do 2-on-1? You bring them to live presentation or wait for another, we call ET.
Yep. Okay. So this is where you give them the choice. At nowhere you are forcing I8 on anybody. So
Okay.
if they want to follow I8, they want to do it this the I8 way, they do EP after EP. So the system is you do 50 EPs a week. So you remember my interview at the boot camp, right? How the people lining up, right?
Yep.
So in that week, you do 50 EPs. You don't invite anybody unless while you're doing EPs, somebody is red hot. That's like, sign me up right now. Or yeah, I'm very, very interested. Just tell me when's the next one. All right. Then maybe you can tell them when's the next one. So you go through 50 EPs. Among 50 EPs, you should get at least 30 to 40 people that say yes. So you got a yes pool of people to invite. Among these 30, 40 people, you know who is more hungry, who is more desperate, because you've done 50 EPs. Then you invite the more desperate, hungry one to the next ET, elevation training. So if you really have 30, 40 people say yes, and you pick the 6 most desperate one, those 6 desperate one, they should sign up. At least 80% of them should sign up. Now,
And you mean they sign up immediately after the training, right?
yeah, they say sign me up. I'm in. Like we have people who just turn to us and before the presentation and just say, yeah, I'm in. Right? And the sponsor will say, haven't finished yet. Let's wait until the end of presentation. Just in case. So people will feel much better. It's like when you push them, not that push them away. I mean like, you're in their best interest. I want you to make an informed decision. Let's wait until the end to see whether this is the right thing for you or not.
So when the people that sign up at the ET,
yep.
All right, what is the next step we bring them?
Okay. So once they're finished, so you will it's a bit like fast start. So when you find out, you catch up with them one-on-one. So you will go through I8 with them in detail. You teach them how to do EP. So you get them to master EP first. There's no such thing as, I mean, you get them to do EP. You learn EP until they're confident to do EP. Then they can start doing EP with the rest of the people, with the rest of the prospects.
Okay. So there's another question. Some of the people that went through the ET itself, but they are still not sure they're going to be level 3 commitment. What do we do with them?
Okay. Well, ask them. I mean, why are you not? Okay. First of all, you give them a choice. Do you prefer I8 or do you prefer the old system? Both are okay with me. Make them have the choice. If they say I much prefer I8, then cool. So to be I8, you need to be level 3. You know that, right? You know the. So and then they say, yeah, I know, and they say, oh, I cannot be level 3. So you just ask them, why are you not level 3? So I have people told me because I have my mother's dead. I need to go to Fiji to sell her house, bring all my things back to Australia. That's a valid reason. That's cool. When you're level 3, you let me know. There are people who've seen Infinity 8. They just say, look, I'm not ready. I've got too much things going on right now. I will let you know when I'm level 3. That's fine too. So just ask them what are the issues in your life that stopping you from level 3. Is there something I can help you to get you to level 3? Rather than you must be level 3, you must be level 3. No. Do you want to be level 3? Yes, then okay. What do you need to be level 3? How I can help you?
So if not, let's say they can't be level 3 yet, we will still guide them through the general way. Am I right to say that?
Again, it's up to them. if they're level 3, they must be there every week for the 52 weeks, right? If they say they're level 2, but they still want to come, then of course you still welcome them with open arms. But just because in your mind you already know they're not level 3, so you will not be chasing them and say, hey, where's your weekly focus board? It's Monday 9 o'clock. Where is it? Since they already told you they're not level 3, you don't expect them. I mean, you can ask them once or twice, but if they don't give it to you by 9 o'clock every Monday, they don't give you the 1-minute update, you know they're not level 3. That's cool. So you still tell them, look, that's cool. Whenever you need help, you let me know. I'll still help you. But I will be spending more time and energy on my level 3 people. And I just need 6 of them. So you still show them love for sure.
Yep. Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Because level 3 people will become level 3 one day, right? For whatever reason, maybe after they go to boot camp, after they go to momentum, bang, they're level 3, right? And sometimes level 3 people or level 2 people drop to level 1. You know, everyone go through life differences. But before I-8, there's no level. You won't have a clue where are they at. They either don't return call, don't look for you, don't know nothing, no reply. So at least now it's very upfront. They can just tell you they're level 3, 2, or 1. So you can decide where you want to spend your time and energy. Anything else?
Can have a question itself. If let's say when we actually do our ET itself, the elevation training,
Yep.
if we can't go towards the 7 and 8, where do you think we should insert it again?
Sorry, say it again.
Okay, because the last time when we do our ET itself, because we do it on a weekday,
Yep.
so when we reach the 5 step 5 and step 6 itself,
Yep.
the people are a bit drained out already.
Yep.
So we didn't do the 7 and 8,
Yep.
right? So what is your suggestion for us, to do the 7 and 8?
Okay. Now 7 and 8 is actually very quick. Like 7 and 8. 7 is weekly focus board. I know there's a video there. If you don't have the time, you don't have to play the video. You can just ask them to go to I8 website to watch it. Okay, everything's on the I8 website. So 7 is just about, that's a weekly focus board. It's okay. If you want to do I8, your sponsor will sit down with you to run through the weekly focus board with you as a first timer. So that's step 7. Step 8, the 2 key point is number 1, it's the values. You got to highlight on the values. And number 2 is is you must attend every training, which we have the promotion at the end. The next events are blah, blah, blah. So step 7, step 8, if you don't have time, combine is at most 10 minutes. But my recommendation for you is to cut short your first 6 steps. So you must have gone too long, right?
First 6 steps.
Yeah. Or your dream trip maybe is too long. Like a lot of your existing members are, you don't have to go through. If you have a room full of existing members already, they don't need to know about the dream trips in too deep, right? So you can just cut that short. Your compensation plan, you can cut that short as well if they know their compensation plan already.
Hey, Mike,
How long does you take for ET now?
At the moment, it's 4 hours.
Last time we did 4.5, like
Okay.
4.5.
oh,
yeah, 4.5.
Same as Hong Kong, 4.5.
Yeah.
But we are very rushed.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very rush, and that's why we are looking at which part we should put emphasis on, which part we just have to go through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of slides. When the slide was designed by Gary, it's for people so that when they sit down, they can go through themselves. So when you do the presentation, you don't have to go through every single word. Just go through the most, in your view, as a leader for your market, which one is the most important? Like step 1, why? I mean, there are a lot of words there, but we all know what is why, right? The most important is the next page, which is you give them 5 minutes to write their why, right? And then commitment, step 2 is just explain what is level 3 commitment, and you need to be level 3. That's the most important. So that can be done in 3 minutes. Right? Step 3 is create a name list. So that is 10 minutes allocated. Watch the video, press play on the video of Quick Coach. 1 minute, 2 minutes explanation. The rest of the time, get them to write their name list. Done. So don't have to go through every single word.
Okay.
Okay.
So you spend a lot of time on the step 4 and step 5, is it?
Four is spend the most time because
Okay.
it's completely new, right? Qualifying is EP.
And do you run through the different mode of EP, like different whether is it influential people or text and
Yeah,
so on and so
correct.
forth?
Correct. Yeah, we do.
You run through that in detail,
Yeah. And then there are different tweaks after that. You don't really need to go into detail. Like I would just say, okay, some of your prospects are more influenced than you, so this is what you say, and then you read it out, and then that's it, and then you move on to the next one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, for step 4 is basically for existing members or new prospects to realize you need to qualify people, and you're only looking for 6 people. You're a CEO of your company. You have 6 chairs. You're in a board of director. You have 6 empty chairs. So you need to qualify all your people to find the right people to sit in that board of director, and there are only 6 seats to be filled. And we do EP. We ask that question, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Somebody's got something to say.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Mike?
I think it's just a matter of running it through, another 3-4 times. Then we get the gist of it, and then by then we will know where are areas that we have to put more emphasis, and area we can go through faster.
Yeah. My suggestion for you is download the so download the latest slides and just go through each one, and you feel that is not important, and then you either hide those slides or just delete those slides. So when you're doing the presentation, you're not just clicking through. Like sometimes it might look a bit unprofessional. People are like, what was that? So if you hide slide or delete slides, people don't know what is missing as well. And you don't see them as well. The presenter just don't, should I talk about that? Yes or no? So as a leader, you go through each content, each slide, you would know which one is more important for your market, right? And just get rid of them. So it should be a lot shorter. And for those...
And majority of the changes is actually the first part of it, the why work venture part, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Now on qualifying step, so guys, I don't know whether you've seen the new qualifying step for step 4. So Gary had made some changes. So some of you know this, because of what's happening with a bit of a political storm right now going on. So we sent our I8 slides to compliance and sent it to Marketera. So they need to check and verify it is compliant. So that's why we remove financial freedom. So Marketera pretty much say financial freedom is not compliant because of the last MLM that went down. I think start with VE something. I can't remember what the name is.
Yeah, VMA.
Yeah. So they were using financial freedom. Right, so based on that feedback, we've changed it now to you just look at the new step 4. So and then the question is, are you looking to diversify your income? So that definitely satisfies compliance point of view. Now, off the book, because clients will check things black and white, right? But when you're talking to prospect, feel free to say financial freedom question if you feel it's better for that prospect. Like some of our members, because they're in the middle class, like financial freedom to their prospect.
So
So the financial freedom question is too big word for the community. Like this middle class, like blue collar people, they don't understand what is financial freedom. So when they start saying diversify your income, they actually get it a lot more. So you choose which is the better question.
Okay.
Mm.
But if I'm talking to like a financial, so for example, I spoke to a financial planner, I would just say financial freedom, and that guy get it straight away.
Looks like I have to send in my Chinese copy for compliance as well. I think that's the right way to go.
They don't understand Mandarin.
So it's
No,
okay.
I still gotta stay compliant. I don't want it breathing down my neck.
Yeah, true.
Do
How
the right thing.
we have recorded this, so I'll share with you what you missed out later.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Great.
Howie.
Mike,
Yeah, I'm in the process of putting that into Chinese. I'm almost done, and then I'll show you. I'll share it with everyone.
excellent.
Yeah, thanks.
Mike, any other questions?
Yeah, I think I'll just get onto the master file and then check the why World Venture and the step 4 and see where the changes, and we can just use that on the next elevation training.
When will the next one be?
It's a bit challenged right now because this weekend is our one big team big anniversary,
Yep.
and then we facing some venue challenge and also some leadership challenge here.
Understand.
Yeah, we got many events too in Hong Kong.
Yeah, so so we're gonna update you once we find that. Probably it's gonna be after the anniversary, probably next week.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We are looking for weekends.
Yep. Okay. Howie,
Yes.
you've been growing like crazy. Obviously you're doing something right. So awesome job. Any questions on your side?
Not really. I'm just staying close to what you guys have and try to duplicate that. And every time I do it, it gets easier, and I could actually do it now on time.
Awesome.
Wow.
Mm.
So maybe Howie, can you share some of the part whereby you find useful, and which part did you actually emphasize more?
I call Gary for the first 2 times before I go and do my elevation. He gave me a very simple advice. He said, what's the outcome? What do you want to get out of it? And honestly, when I go on stage, there's so much to cover, but I think I focused on the message I want to come across, which is the vision, helping 500 million in 5 years.
Mm.
And then after that, I just try to tie everything back to it, and I can't possibly cover everything, but I think in the end, the heart comes through. I think in the end, the intention comes through, and it's a success at the end. So I don't make sure I cover everything. I make sure I kind of briefly touch up on everything, but I don't necessarily make sure that I go through everything as well. So it's I would say it's more about the heart and intention, and then painting the big picture for them. And if they see that, they'll keep on coming back because they want to learn more and be part of it.
Great advice.
And do you get all your existing members all to come, or do you pre-select and qualify some of the existing members?
Yeah, I control it very tightly. Initially, I gave all my MDs 5 slots, so they have to select 5. So we started out with 70 people, and from then on, only those 70 people in the group, they get to buy tickets first.
Okay.
So every time I don't tell them when the next one is. I only announce it at that very date when I do it. And they say, okay, the next one is such and such date. and I will not release the tickets publicly. I only release the tickets in the group. I say you guys get to buy it today. You have 24 hours, and then whatever is left, I will release it. But usually by the end of the 24 hours, the tickets are sold.
Wow, awesome. That's
Yeah,
good
so I'm
idea.
controlling that very, very tightly. I don't want it to spread like, I want people to want it. Plus, my room can only fit 120. You know Taiwan, right? If I do a Super Saturday, I could get 500 people.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm controlling it to 120 right now. But people are loving it so far. They love the experiences, and also the catch on the big vision, the gratitude, the amount of thanks that I got back at the end of these events are like, it's overwhelming for a high green like me.
Yep.
It's very overwhelming. And when people are watching that football film, like, you know, this is the fourth time I'm doing it. Like at the end of the football, facing the Giant, like I would say 20% of the people are crying. 25%. Like that's like quarter of the room are crying. So again, every time I do it, it's a little bit different. I think there's so much material. I could literally spend like 6.5 hours on just the slides, but to cut it down to 3.5, you know, plus the dancing and everything. I just made sure, you know, I just remember what Gary teaches me, just the intention and what's the overall outcome you want to get. So I just kind of run with that.
Yep.
So far so good. Yeah, people are loving it, and I'm enjoying it. Now I have to find leaders to help me duplicate this.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
how much do you charge for the tickets?
100 NT, so that's about $3.
Okay, $3. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
to
we-
cover the electricity and the place, you know.
Yeah, because we face a challenge of the venue too. So we need to, you know, have some fun to actually rent place. And you know, in Singapore to rent a place is very expensive. And
Yeah.
yeah, we can't
Yeah.
use the corporate office because of compliance.